Remember that moment when you caught your reflection in a storefront window and noticed maybe for the first time that your shoulders were slumped forward, your neck was slightly craned, and you looked tired? Not tired from lack of sleep, but tired in your posture. I had one of those moments just after my 81st birthday. I wasn't sick, I wasn't in pain, but I looked like gravity was slowly winning. And what shocked me most was how normal it had started to feel. I didn't notice the slouch, the drag in my stride, or the heaviness in my back, until I did. Now here's what I wish someone had told me back when I was 60. Posture is beyond just about your back or shoulders. It starts with your legs, especially your thighs and glutes. Strong legs don't just help you climb stairs or get out of chairs. More easily, they hold up your whole frame. When your legs are strong, your spine stacks better, your lungs open up more fully, and your brain actually gets more oxygen. You feel sharper, taller, more present. And it all began, for me, with a 3-second trick I now do every time I stand. It's so simple, you'll probably laugh, but it works. Anytime I get up from a chair or even just pause at the sink or the hallway, press my big toes into the ground for 3 seconds and gently squeeze my glutes. That's it. Just 3 seconds. Toes down, glutes tight, spine tall. It sends a message straight to your nervous system. We're standing with intention, not by accident. And once you feel that lift, it becomes addictive. You start doing it when you wait in line, at the stove, on phone calls, and it subtly rewires how you carry yourself, less sagging, more support. That tiny move made me curious. What else had I been overlooking? I started paying attention to how I moved through everyday routines. Things like brushing my teeth or pouring a cup of tea. Where was the tension? Where was the strength? I realized I'd spent years sitting with my legs slightly splayed, barely using my glutes or thighs. And then I expected them to magically perform when I needed to step over a puddle or carry groceries up the stairs. No wonder I felt wobbly. So I made a tiny pact with myself. Every time I sit down or stand up, I'd use my legs. No pushing off the armrest, no tipping forward first. I'd press my heels into the ground and lift tall, like I was holding a teacup on my head. It took an extra second or two, but it lit up my quads like they'd been waiting for an invitation back into the game. Within a week, my knees felt steadier. Within a month, I noticed my lower back had stopped aching by dinner time. You might be juggling 1,000 things right now. Career shifts, aging parents, kids launching or circling back. I get it. But here's the thing. The body you move through all of that with, it's quietly asking for a few small moments of attention each day. Not an hour at the gym. Not some grueling just 3 seconds here, 5 seconds there. Stacking strength like coins in a jar. Take a moment right now. Press your toes into the floor. Lift tall, gently squeeze your glutes, and breathe in through your nose. Feel how your rib cage rises just a little easier. That's your body, remembering how it was designed to carry you, and how it still can. Let's stay with that feeling a little longer, and explore what else our legs and our posture need from us now. Because once you start tuning in to how your body stands, lifts, and moves, it becomes hard to ignore just how much your legs are doing or not doing for your posture and stability. It's easy to assume that good posture is all about your spine. But truthfully, posture is a team effort, and your legs are the unsung heroes. They're the foundation under the house, and if they start to wobble, everything above shifts with them. After I started using that 3-second toe press and glute squeeze, I began to notice how often I was coasting through motions without muscle engagement. I'd shuffle instead of step, pivot without lifting my feet, embrace my hands on counters just to lean over and reach the toaster. And I wasn't alone. The more I observed friends in my age group, the more I realized we were all moving like we were afraid to ask anything of our legs. But here's the truth. The less you use your legs with purpose, the faster they forget what they're capable of. That realization changed everything for me. I didn't want to age into caution. I wanted to age into confidence. And that meant rebuilding a relationship with the muscles that once made me feel unstoppable. So I started layering little strength signals into my day. I'd hold on to the back of a chair and slowly rise onto the balls of my feet, just a few seconds at a time, feeling my activate and my posture lift. Like stringing pearls up through my spine, I'd pause during a walk to balance on one foot for a moment or two, letting my glutes and thighs stabilize me without leaning or locking my knees. These tiny micro movements didn't just make my legs stronger, they reminded my brain that I was still in control of this body, even at 81. And let's not forget what strong legs do beyond standing tall. They protect you from falls. They help you get up from the floor, They keep your stride steady when you're crossing a parking lot in the rain. And here's a bonus you might not expect. Strong legs help your core work better, because when your lower body is stable, your abdomen doesn't have to you breathe deeper. Your digestion improves. You feel lighter mentally and physically. I've talked with enough people in their 40s, 50s, and early 60s to know that many are already noticing the signs. Knees that ache more on stairs, hips that feel stiff after sitting, a general sense of heaviness in the lower half. But here's the good news. It's not too late. You don't need to reverse time, you just need to reconnect to the legs you've always had. A few conscious seconds each day builds back the trust between your body and your balance. And once that connection is strong again, posture isn't something you have to think about. It just happens. You rise taller not because someone told you to, but because your legs are strong enough to hold you there. And that's strength that, quiet, dependable, lifted changes how you enter a room, how you carry your age, how you feel when no one's looking. So before we go any further, take one more breath. Let your weight shift gently into your feet. Press those toes down. Squeeze just enough through your thighs and glutes to feel that light, upward pull. And hold it for 3 seconds. That's the trick. That's the spark. And as you hold that lift just for those 3 seconds, you may feel something surprising. Not just a better posture, but a sense of presence. That tiny engagement brings you back into your body, into this moment, reminding you that strength doesn't have to roar. Sometimes, it whispers through the muscles you almost forgot you had. The more I practiced this simple awareness, the more it reshaped how I moved through the day. I no longer slouched at the sink while brushing my teeth. I stood balanced and light, as if my body was stacking itself automatically. When I reached for something on the top shelf, I noticed I didn't have to lean or overextend. My legs were doing their job, quietly and effectively. And you might be wondering, why does all this matter so much after 60? Because this is the decade when things start to shift. Muscle mass naturally declines if we're not careful. Bone density, balance, and stability all begin to slide not suddenly, but subtly, until one day it's hard to get up from a low couch, or you hesitate before taking stairs without holding on, or you catch yourself huffing from a walk that used to be easy. But here's the truth I've lived into. This slide isn't inevitable. You can push back with consistency, not intensity. You can lift your life 3 seconds at a time, and the legs are the key, because when your lower half is strong, everything else improves. Your posture rises, your breath deepens, your mind feels clearer because you're moving through life with strength, not strain. I even started playing a little game with myself. How many posture lifts could I sneak into my day? One while waiting for the kettle to boil, another during a phone call, one before I sat down, one after I stood up. Each one was like planting a flag. I'm still here. I'm still active, and my body still belongs to me. If you're in your 40s or 50s right now, this is your window. These are the years when you can build your future independence instead of reacting to its loss later. You don't need hours of exercise. You don't need to deadlift your body. You just need intention. And a few seconds, a few times a day, where you choose to stand taller literally and metaphorically. So try it again. Whether you're sitting or standing right now, press down through your big toes, activate your glutes, and feel your spine grow an inch taller. Don't force it, just feel it. That's your body remembering what's possible. That's your strength. If this moment resonated with you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below what's one place in your day you could fit this posture lift in. While brushing your teeth, waiting in line, folding laundry, your answer might be the idea that unlocks someone else's strength. And if this little trick made you feel even 1% better, click like, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so more tools like this reach you just when you need them. Because midlife isn't the beginning of the end. It's the doorway to the decades where we move on purpose. Here's to standing tall, stepping strong, and owning every year with intention.